Hello everyone and welcome to Crafting with Delonda. It's me again, Delonda, and thank you so much for joining me today. Today we are doing a cardstock craft, and if you've been with me for any length of time, you know that cardstock is not my jam, but I am going to do my very best to help you get through this tutorial and show you just how to make a simple basic card with a template of your own. Now, at the end of this video, if you find it helpful, remember to like the video, subscribe to my channel, and turn on the bell for notifications because I do upload new content every single week. Now, without further ado, let's look at the materials and we'll dive right in. But don't forget to share your tips and tricks with me if there's something you think I should know. Let's get started. The materials I'm using for this tutorial include my Cricut Maker. I'm using a blue light grip mat, 2 sheets of cardstock. This is 65-pound cardstock. I'll use the Cricut scoring stylus, double-sided tape, and I'm going to use 2 of my Cricut pens, the black and the red, and the design I'll be creating myself. Let's head over to Cricut Design Space and get started. I am in Cricut Design Space, and the first thing I'm going to do is go over here to Shapes, and I am going to choose this rounded square. And what I'll do with the square is unlock it. Right now it's locked and the size is at 2 by 2. I'm going to unlock it and I'm going to resize it to a width of 10 and a height of 5. Okay. The next thing I'm going to do is go back over here and grab another shape. Still going to go with this rounded square shape because these corners are rounded. And this time I'm going to unlock this shape and I'm going to resize this one to 4.25 and for the width, and the height is going to be 4.7. And what I'll do with this, so if you're following along with me, you should have 2 shapes on your canvas, one that looks like a rectangle, one that looks like a smaller rectangle. And what I'm going to do with this second shape is I'm going to just right click and duplicate it. So I'll have 2 of these. But now what I'll do over here, this is going to be the actual card, and these will be the basically like the inserts for my card. What I'm going to do now is grab a text box and I'm just going to type the phrase. Let's just say I want my phrase to be before you start. I'm just going to type the word before and you, Y-O-U like this, capital Y-O-U, and start like that, and then just dot, dot, dot. And what I'm going to do now is change the font. So I'm going to move the text over here so that when my font options open up, I can still see the font. Okay, so I'll go over here and automatically in the, let's clear out my filters first. So let's just clear them out so we can just see all of the available fonts. Now here you can choose any font. I suggest selecting something big and bold, but you can use a Cricut font. You can use any of your system fonts that you have downloaded. This part right here, of course, with all of this will be up to you. I want to use something, let's see what Cooper Black looks like. I like that, Cooper Black. This is a Cricut Access font. So if you are not a Cricut Access member, you would have to, filter your search to look for free fonts. So you will just make sure this box is checked. But I am a Cricut Access member and this is the font I want to use. And what I'll do is put the font over here on the top of the right side of my card. Okay, and I just kind of want to stretch it out just a little bit. I can also just check it here, just make sure it's not bigger than this size of this, basically this insert. I think this looks great. So what I'll do is bring my text over here to the right side of my card, and I will select the card and hold my shift key and I'll select the text and I will click slice. Okay. And what will happen is that text will be sliced out of my card. Okay, so now I have my card and this is starting to look great. I don't need this anymore. I can actually delete this. What I'm going to do now is go over here to shapes, and I'm going to grab a line from right here, and this is going to be my score line. I'm going to resize my score line to a height of 5 because my card has a height of 5. So right here, I'm just going to go right here on the height and just click type in 5.0. I'll put the line on top of the card and I'll select the card and the line. I will click align and center, and then I will attach the line to the card. Okay, so now when I bring this over and it's time to actually get started cutting, my Cricut will know that I need a score line right here. All right, so the first part of my card looks great. Now for this part of my card, this is going to be the insert where the writing will go. I actually want to change the color of this. Let's just change the color to, let's change it to yellow for right now. And remember, it doesn't matter. I can actually be really using white, but I'm going to just change it to yellow. What I'm going to do with this is I'm going to use this to actually write the message, or this is where my Cricut will do the writing. So I'm going to go back over here, select text, and this time, let's bring the text over here. I'm going to look for text that can be used for writing, because this big text that I used the first time, this Cooper Black, this is not considered as a writing font. So I will go over here and click on the filter option. I will look for a handwriting font that is free. Now, because I'm a Cricut Access member, I can really choose one that's not free, but I want to choose one that is free. Okay, so let's see what options I have. All right, so I have the option to use this one, Alyssa Stencil Script. I don't really like that one. I kind of like the Cricut Alphabet font. Favorite fonts collection. I actually like this single layer writing. I'm going to go with this one right here. Okay, so my text is going to change right here, and now I can double click here and type my message. And for my message, since I will be using this card, for example, to give advice to someone who is new to crafting or new to having a Cricut, I might start my message with, "Hi there, crafty friend, comma." Okay, I might bring this over and bring it up, and I would resize it so that it fits nicely on my card. That looks really, really good. Okay. And then I would actually start my message separately from this. So this is just my greeting basically. And I would just click the text box, and the text is not going to change because I'm not changing it. And I'm going to type a message, and my message might be, okay, and I would just kind of center this right here. I like it. And if I were using different colors of Cricut pens, this is where I could make a decision about, let's look at this. Okay. This is where I would make a decision about, like, if I want to change the color of the pen, like maybe I want this part of the card to be in red. I can click up here and, make changes depending on the colors of pens you have. So I might use a red pen here. Right here, I might, stick with black. All right. And then now this looks a lot bigger to me. The font looks a lot bigger, and I don't want it to be too much bigger. So this is the font of 22 point. $22.99 and this is $22.25. That's fine like that. All right, and then I would finish this off with a signature basically. So I would go back in here to text. Font. And so I'm going to bring this down and I will bring it over. I think this looks really great. All right, and now this is a little bit bigger than the other text. And of course, I don't want it to be too much bigger to overshadow the text. I think this looks great. So what I could do now is select all of this and I can make sure that I can click align and center. I want to make sure that this is centered horizontally. I think that looks really nice. And what I would need to do next is I would need to click attach. Okay, so now this is the inside of my card. This piece of the card is going to go in here behind this. So this will need to be a different color. So if I use white here, I might need to use blue or green or black or purple so that these letters stand out. So this would just be glued in back here. And then this would be glued on the inside of the card. So now I'm finished with all of this. I can save this. Of course, Cricut is going to ask me if I want to save it. I'm going to call this Card for Newbie. Okay, and I can click save. Okay, my project is saved now. And now I can click make. And I am going to be prompted to use multiple mats when in all actuality, I won't need to use multiple mats. This is just going to be a cut piece of cardstock. This is going to be my pen and cardstock. So I'm going to definitely move this over to the first mat. All of this can be on one mat. All right, I'll move this over here just like that. And I am going to select light cardstock. And now my Cricut is looking for light cardstock. I'm using the default pressure, and it's going to let me know when to load pin A and when to load the scoring wheel and all of that. Everything I'll do from here will be back on the camera. I have my red paper at the top and the yellow paper at the bottom, and I stopped both of them right at the 6-inch line. And I have the standard blade in clamp B, and I'm being instructed to insert the scoring stylus in clamp A. So I'm going to load the machine first. And I'm going to go ahead and load clamp A with the scoring stylus. I actually prefer this over the scoring wheel. You have the option with the Cricut Maker. And now I'm going to press the flashing C. So now it's asking me to remove the scoring stylus from clamp A and from clamp A and insert the black pin there. So I'm going to bring this out and insert the pin. And I'll press the flashing C. Now my Cricut is going to write the first message. I'll get a little closer so you can see what this looks like, but I'll also speed this part up. Okay, so now my Cricut has cut out the card and the two inserts that will go in the card, and I think it looks excellent. I love the way this looks. Let me let you see it closer. Okay, before I remove the card from my mat, you can see that my Cricut did its best writing, and I will use my spatula, probably my spatula, or I'll make sure to turn my mat over to remove the paper so it doesn't curl up. Okay, I'm going to flip my mat over and just remove the card from the mat. Now, for some reason, my yellow cardstock did not cut all the way through, so I just kept folding it back and forth and trying to get a good enough line so that I could tear it off. And I did my best. I think it came out okay. I actually think this yellow cardstock it might be 80 pounds and the red might be 65 pounds. What I'm doing right here is carefully removing the letters from the red cardstock. And what I'm going to do is carefully, once I get all the letters removed, I'm going to save the inside pieces of the letters, like the middle of the O and the middle of the E. And what I'll do is glue those down to the yellow insert. There's the yellow insert that's going to be behind the front layer, and I'll glue the little red pieces there, the red inner pieces of the letters. But the first thing I'll do is use double-sided tape, and I will get that yellow layer adhered to the red layer. Little flap. Okay, so here's the front of my card. I see a little mistake right here. I'm just gonna try to clean that up, okay? And what I'll do now is use the double-sided tape to add this to the inside of my card, and we will be finished. So let's grab some double-sided tape. Just add to the back. So this is the finished card. And what am I going to say? I love it. I love it. It's plain and quick and easy. It just says, "Hi there, crafty friend. My best advice for you as you start your crafting journey is for you to get a craft journal. Best wishes, Delonda." I absolutely love this, and I know you can do this too. If you've never made your own card and you've relied heavily on using someone else's template, I highly encourage you to give this a try and let me know what you think. If there are any tips or tricks you want me to know, make sure you let me know them. My biggest struggle was getting these little pieces from the insides of the letters put on, but I think I did a fairly decent job. I ended up having to use, you know, as I stated, some glue and a paintbrush because I just really don't like the way it feels to touch glue, but that's just a personal thing. All right, hopefully you have found this tutorial helpful. If you did, remember to like the video, subscribe to my channel, and turn on the bell for notifications because I do upload new content every single week. Thank you so much for joining me today, and thanks for watching. Bye.